Hello, my name's Matthew Roblin. This is my Kin 110 first video. My question here is you're the community recreation director of a town where there is increasing racial and ethnic diversity. You want to use recreation as a site for highlighting positive intergroup relationships in your community. What challenge will you face as you try to do this? What challenges will be the most difficult to deal with? Uh, you know, I come from a small town where we haven't really had to deal with a lot of ethnic and diversity within. So this question's a little bit difficult for me to answer, but uh, I think a hard thing to do would be the ones who are coming through immigration. So ones who are learning how to speak English, learning, really just try to fit in. One actual example as I have of this is in my grade 10 year, we had a kid. He ended up being in my class and a good buddy of mine. We had a kid move to Canada from Thailand, and he when he first got here, he wasn't really good at English yet. Hey, like he could almost barely put two words together, and his mom was the math teacher at our school, and so she was kind of talking to the football coach, and Make had heard about this football, and what he thought was football was soccer, right? That's what they call it there, and so he's like, I want to play football, thinking it's soccer, and so he comes to the one practice, and his eyes just lit up. We were doing some sort of hitting drill, and he's like, I remember seeing it, and he he didn't, because he didn't understand, and football's such a hard sport to play due to uh like all the different terminology and whatever else. He really struggled understanding what was going on, right? So he took a little bit to decide if he wanted to play, and eventually he came. After in class we convinced him, and he came, and he's the perfect football type. He loves hitting people. He's just that type of kid, right? So eventually he did catch on, but I think that the language barrier, and trying to learn new sports is one of the biggest issues as a rec directors we will run into. As people want to learn new sports, but they don't want to move to a community, like go to the sport and have no idea what's going on, and then look stupid in front of a whole bunch of people that they don't know, right? So I think yeah, language barrier is probably the biggest issue that we would run into as rec directors moving forward. But I think too, as rec directors, and if we see more ethnicities coming to our community, we need to try to adapt to that as well. Like, they shouldn't be the only ones fully adapting. We should adapt to that as well. Where you know they want to participate in sports. Well, why not open up the gym one night and have a game that they've been playing their whole life, from whatever country or wherever they come from, right? And advertise that around the community. Like, come try a new sport, meet new people, and try to make the community bond together, right? So that we don't, when you pass somebody on the street in a small community, you want to say hello to them. So why not have it where we say hello to the new people as well, right? And the best way to do that is get to know them, and what better way to get to know somebody than through sport? That yeah. So another thing I think would be a issue is fans. So if you're like me and you played hockey in small town Saskatchewan, you understand how hectic it gets, because communities are against communities. That's how it goes, right? But I actually read a thing on Facebook this morning about a community, uh, a novice team who is all Aboriginal and went to a white community to play for a hockey game, and these kids are 8 years old, and they experienced racism really badly. Where like he said the refs made unfair calls that didn't make any sense, and after the game, the kids were skating off the ice, and fans and grown people were yelling inappropriate things to these kids, and they're 8 years old. Like, where do you think racism starts? It starts when you're young. If you grow up knowing nothing but racism, it's gonna be there. So I know you can't control the people, but as rec directors and coaches and leaders within the community, we need to really help the kids understand that racism's not okay. It needs to be eliminated, and by doing that, you have team building exercises where kids no longer see color, they see personalities. That's the one of the biggest issues as a society we have right now is you read on Facebook something happened. Well, it happened because he was Aboriginal. It happened because he was white. Well, no, it happened because that's who that person is. So that's what kids really need to understand is things happen because of who people are, not because of their color. So, like we we as rec directors and coaches and leaders within the community really really need to focus on eliminating that completely. Yeah, so that's what I got. Thanks a lot.